You're now going to jail because I just filmed that. I'm gonna send that to the police.
Actually, we're in 2020 and marijuana is illegal.
Dude,
Unless Biden's elected.
is that why you're injecting heroin with that band? I believe that's what they use.
Yes.
Yeah, this is my third video today. I'm actually surprised. I'm filming landscape instead of portrait on my phone, so I think I got like 6 other brain cells. So now I have
Dehydrated.
so now I have like 300% more brain cells now that I have 6 more brain cells.
I've like 2 brain cells. That's why I can't focus on anything.
You know,
Wait, what's happening?
the reason I like foreign films personally
Get off my lawn.
is because oh, I'm sorry, I just gave you coronavirus. Is because
Whoa.
you get a sense of the setting. Though
I got called racist for thinking someone had corona.
were they Asian?
They were, but I wasn't asking them. I was asking their boyfriend who wasn't Asian.
Oh, so like he got ghost corona from her. Like the ghost of corona, like a virus, but it's a phantom. The phantom pain.
I'm a phantom thief.
Yeah, but like, you know what they say, the grass is always greener on the other side. You know those sayings which are actually saying the grass isn't greener on the other side.
No, the jungle isn't greener on the other side. Welcome to the jungle. We got fun and games.
It really says something to me how like filmmakers are a bit stymied feeling in like locations when, for instance, Japan. Well, Japan does have very interesting filming based on like Tokyo as a place. Lots of movies.
I'm falling asleep.
But there's ways you can use different locations that are interesting, like Japan.
Wait. I'm falling asleep.
Okay, this is not a good video. This is not good for my video. Did you ever think about that?
You're not even fucking filming.
Yes, I am. You covering the camera doesn't turn it off.
I don't know. I'm just giving it a new world view.
Wow. Think.
It's a very expressive one.
I am Ozzy. I am Ozymandias. Look at my castle and weep. Weep from your penis.
Castlevania is the best fake video game ever created.
With your Waddy.
Oh.
I'm all location. I don't care about people. I care about cities. Cities get all of my empathy. That's why, Batman, you should think of yourself as a protected class. Because people with a property are defended. That's the housing crisis. And now the property is on the internet. And the property is the money. The property is theft. That's what I believe, Batman. That's what I believe. I just stole some intellectual property right there. But I'm not any smarter. Because I didn't know. I put in my dick. I put the intellectual property in my dick. Now my dick is just shaped like a brain. What do I do now?
No shit. Now your dick is more of a brain than a dick.
I was told, don't use your brain, use your dick. And I was like, I whipped it out and they were like, oh, shit. Fuck. That's not what we're looking for. We're looking for a dick. And I was like, sorry, I can't fuck kids.
I got 75 million yen.
big guy. How many tries did it take?
Of course, I'm on a bunch of steroids on New Game Plus.
I mean, beating him is kind of difficult anyway, because he does like...
1,000,000 damage to you.
Personally, I kind of save state and I use the thing the pink, the one that has like 3 dashes, and I get in like 4 hits per. What do you do?
I don't know, I think I'm about to go to sleep.
No, I mean like against a guy.
I kick his ass. I use beast mode. Of course, I haven't beaten him with Majima yet. It's a lot harder to deal a bunch of damage with Majima.
Beat him with my penis.
Majima's better against crowds.
There's Yakuza 0 showing up as a staple of my YouTube channel. The only game you've ever seen on my YouTube channel. If I make a game out of filming, then I don't gotta get lost in the sauce. Whoa. If I don't make a game out of filming, then I don't gotta get lost in the sauce. No, I don't gotta get lost in the sauce. No, I don't gotta get lost in the sauce. I'ma boil this pot. I'ma boil this pot. This pot. I'ma boil this pot. This pot. Okay, it's gonna be cold outside. So, got locations in movies. I haven't been into movies lately. I watched Breaking Bad. This is a reflection on the state of content that it's all like escapism. I hope I haven't talked too much about that. I try to vary my topics in as much as I can without actually having really any creative or intellectual spine, just like a way to regurgitate what I do and sort of criticize it within the realms of my neat lifestyle. You know, there's not really that much movement there. There's just like stagnant knowledge of the degradation of conceptualization on the lines of topicality, you know? Which is just to say that normal topics people go for aren't really all that deep, aren't really all that complex. People can't deal with complexity or depth. Once they get to complexity or depth, they feel it's bad. They feel the need to malign it because they feel that it's endangering them. They feel that if they're in a system of complexity, that's a system of oppression, which, yeah, to be fair, a lot of systems of oppression have a lot of complexities to them to obscure complaints, to say, oh no, it's actually means testing. It's not actually cutting welfare, it's means testing, because we don't want the rich, you know, to get welfare. These excuses, which sound reasonable, but actually, you know, fuck you over. So, not complex, not deep. And the sort of difference I make between complexity and depth is that complexity is, if a problem is complex, you can get to it and you can get rid of it with a graceful solution. While if a problem is deep, you can only get through it with a rigorous solution. So you could say roughly this is P versus NP. These are, I don't actually know what that problem means. I barely have any knowledge of it. But one which more or less factors it as things in space with certain relations which can be nailed down after a while, and the system can be given something like, let's say, self-awareness. Now, this is, overvalued, because depth is also another one of these things where rather than just saying, oh, here's a cool trick, these words actually mean this. You can't just have propaganda. You also have to have a sort of work message to both get people in line and make people agree who wouldn't agree with the propaganda in the first place, which is, putting your work, writing it down. Because, we always think that the work doesn't matter if you know the question. But the whole point of the work is that sometimes the work illuminates the problem that you're working with in the first place. Is that, though to a learned man, you might see one formula and be like, oh, well, obviously this is that. There's always some sort of formula where you're not predisposed, and you'll have to say, how do I pare this down? And the different categories will either help or not help in confusing ways, like a puzzle and all the pieces sort of signifying the relative part role of each other piece. Oh, sorry.
I emptied it. Don't use this tonight.
Oh.
That come down. It was on for like a couple minutes.
Tea thing didn't work. But anyway.
Where are you going?
Oh, just outside.
Where?
Nowhere.
You mean nowhere close to the house?
I'm just being outside in the driveway.
Okay, because if you're going to walk away,
This shows my fundamental failure of multitasking. Very silly, very funny. Very goofy, yes. Very silly, very funny, very goofy. I'm ashamed. I've great shame. I must bow down, prostrate, and say, forgive me. I did not mean to do it. I'm slapping the ground. I'm saying, forgive me. I will, of course, boil another cup of tea. Because I want to boil another cup of tea. Ooh. Man, I really should read the rest of Homestuck. And the other video I could get to about fucking settings, but I'll make this video about what is this fuck, like, complexity and depth. I don't know, fuck.